Hi guys, I want to share some short part of my testimony with you today. Um, I grew up in a pretty good home, went to church often. I had good parents, not the best or not perfect parents, but good parents, good house. Um, Knew of the Lord, never knew the Lord, and after school when I got away from my dad's boundaries and out of his house, went to the US to work for a year, and totally lost my way, did things I shouldn't have done, came back, worked 2 years, did the same things, just went from bad to worse, and went to study way back my first year. It continued in my sinful life. I remember in that first year, I had this yearning, this desire to be with God. The Bible says the desire of the nations. He's the desire of the nations, and I had this desire to be with Him and to get to know Him. So I would read my Bible in the mornings when I got up, but when it got close to the weekend, I would stop reading my Bible, stop praying, because I knew over weekends I wanted to party, drink alcohol and do do all kinds of bad stuff. Um, so I had this Hosea lifestyle for more than a year, where I was searching for God, and on weekends I would leave Him in the cupboard and do whatever I wanted. I lived a double life. And then at the end of my first year at university, I got the opportunity to go on an outreach to Ballito in South Africa, and I absolutely went for the wrong reasons. For girls, it's a beach and bikinis, and got there and God had a total different plan. And He met me there, and He totally turned my life around. He shook, like Hebrews 12 says, once He shook the earth, and once again He will shook everything that is shakeable except His kingdom that is unshakable. And my life got shaken at the end of 2003, and I met Him, and immediately I learned to hear His voice. And from that day until today, I've got this blessing of hearing God's voice, communing with Him, building relationship with Him. And even after that, nobody told me back then what relationships should be like. So I bumped my head a lot of times and did even worse things after meeting Jesus than before I met Him. But there came a time where I just said, God, I can't be in these relationships anymore. There's too many hurt in them for me and for the other party. And I said, I'm done with these relationships. If it's only me and you until I die one day when I get old, it's fine. It's enough for me. And 2 months later, I met Monique. And the moment something started happening between us, I was like, whoa, I don't want a girlfriend. And she was like, I don't want a boyfriend. And I was like, great, we can just be friends. And needless to say, 5 months later, we got married. And we made some hard decisions. We said, we're not going to kiss each other, because I know myself. I know where this goes once I start kissing her. So we put down the boundaries, made good decisions, sowed some good seeds from the beginning of our friendship, got married. Now we have 4 kids, and we're still seeing the fruit of our first good and hard decisions in our kids' life. So my testimony today, the short part, is all about God's faithfulness, even though we are unfaithful. Even though I still bumped my head many times, God was still there, reeling me back, pulling me closer to Him, never letting me go, because He remains faithful. He cannot deny Himself. What He did through His Son on the cross, dying on the cross, and through His resurrection, is fixed. It's finished. It's finished over my life. Even though I sometimes run away from that, He keeps pulling me back, because the covenant between us is what is steadfast. It's not me, it's God and His covenant that is steadfast. So if you are in a place where you are up and down, here and there, stand on God's covenant, on His faithfulness, and He will keep on reeling you in, pulling you closer until you become part of His steadfastness. Thanks guys, see you soon. Cheers.